Hello and welcome to another video. This time around we're going to take a look at gear rate 124. This is my team, how I've cleared it. The topic came up in my alt account since, shout out to them, and to Kel, Leroy Jenkins, my dude. So I wanted to show them how I've done it, what's the trick behind it, and yeah, how you could approach it. Because there's definitely a little trick which you can use just to make it a little bit easier to deal with the monsters in front of the wall. Usually the issue is with the healing. We can do something about it though. So our main DPS is going to be Vienna and Magda. Second one is most likely going to be Cerberus. And then Boreas, just for an orientation of who to gear first. Therefore, we're also dropping down these two first, followed up with the two healers or supporter with Belze, just to give them the Invic or Wings of Grace, whatever you have. If you don't have Eluin A5 to use her ult and drop down the Wood Elf and generate some cost by removing it again, it should just slow you down a little bit in the beginning, but I think and hope so, it shouldn't matter too much. So the first wave isn't going to deal a lot of damage to the wall. That's why we are kind of ignoring it. The important one is going to be the one after. And with that one, we want to deal as soon as possible. So we're going to bring everyone down. We're going to start off with Belze, follow up with Boreas, and trigger Cerberus as late as possible. And now we're going to drop down Morrigan on top right just to hit these mobs. This will lead the boss to throw his healing to the side, which just makes it so much easier for us to deal with the mobs down here. So that way we now already have the first wave cleared. We're going to use Magda, Yemeret, and Belze on the second wave. And this should deal with this wave. So healing would come in. Now we can use Vienna. Everyone's pretty low. And there they go. We will take out Morrigan. She would die here anyways. But we also have Nastya as another unit to just hit the sides as they come in and manipulate the healing once again. So with this wave, we want to deal as soon as possible. Drop down Nastya, Yemeret Belze. Now you can see mobs are coming in from top again, but Nastya hits them, and that way the healing goes over. Okay, clear them out. And now, as you might have seen, I've waited on Artemis. This is simply because we can drop him down with Cerberus again, and now we have an Invic buff on Cerberus. This is going to help his damage quite a lot. This shouldn't be underestimated. I wasn't assuming that this is going to be a lot neither, but yeah, I've seen it afterwards. The numbers, they jumped quite a lot. I had a good jump. So we can use Yemeret here just to freeze everyone in front of him again, in front of Cerberus. And now trigger Belze with Cerberus just to boost Cerberus as he is going into his ult. We're going to have a lot of damage coming in now to the left side. So if you can keep them alive with the Wood Elves, add them in as an additional healing. This is going to be crucial here, just to keep everyone up. So as you can see on the right side, there are mobs coming in now, and here we're going to abuse that fact again. It's just a little bit depending on how fast he's going, but this should be out of range, yep. And now we're Gucci. And just continue, whacking on the boss. Oops. So, as usual, close before he's going to heal, we will execute with Vienna. It doesn't matter that she is potentially going to die here. At this point, we have half HP on the shield still left. There's pretty much everything dead. That is really going to bother us. So it's just the Scourges and the boss now. So we can also remove her again and get Nastya in here. This is mostly because her Lord bonus is going to deal more damage as the boss has debuffs. So we want to kind of abuse the fact that this is the case and get her in, get some debuffs on the boss and everyone else. Yep. And I guess we can go double time now and just spam everything out. Could even now remove him again, get him in, get another, what's his name again? Severus death, and that's it. So the main part is get someone on the sides and manipulate the healing this way, just to be able to clear the mobs in the middle way easier. If they would have gotten healed all the time, it would have been a hell to deal with. Yeah, and those, as I said, are going to be the damage numbers. This time around quite low, because I think there wasn't really any healing at the crucial stages coming into the middle. Those numbers could go a good chunk higher. As you can see, Boreas wasn't really doing quite a lot. He's also built somewhat tanky for me with a lot of HP subs just to keep him alive. Even though he's not like the best damage dealer in this spot here, he is still going to be helpful with his anti-heal next to Artemis, just to have the two of them heal. Anti-heal. Yeah, so much about the stats. Now let's go over the gear. Just show it here quickly again. The loading. We love it. Should be, yeah. So 554 isn't really a quick run, but yeah, that's just what you gotta do with. You need good HP on your DPS units that are standing in the front, meaning Vienna and Boreas. Since we don't really bother about her attack speed, this is going to hopefully make it a little bit easier just to have a crit rate, crit damage, first two subs, and then go into HP afterwards. Same for here. Now this is even with flat attack. And here's another HP percentage. The weapon, we cannot have a good fourth stat anyway, so HP, and then the chest, full damage. For this one, you can go her exclusive. If you have it, you should do it. This is a bit more beneficial than the Tea of Twilight, especially since you are constantly dropping below the HP threshold. So yeah, definitely give her exclusive a shot. Magda is full DPS. There isn't really anything special to say about, just give her full damage. And Frigid Flame, this is going to be the best one behind the wall. There are going to be moments where she is going to potentially take a hit from the Scourges just because of Belze pulling them in, but she should get her stacks back up. For Belze, it's mostly about just attack main with flat attack subs, as you can see here and here. I've added a little bit of attack speed and rage regen as well, just to get back to his ult a little bit faster, especially for the moment where there is going to be Cerberus going down the second time, and you want to trigger Cerberus ult with Belze. So this is something I've also just learned from Faye. You want to run Hell's Lament, or I don't know how you properly pronounce it, on him, simply because he's going to keep the buff. This is the same reason why you want to trigger Belze right before he's going to die. He is going to hold on to the buff as he's going to die, while this pool of him is on the ground. So you're going to boost his damage by quite a lot. And if you have, this would be the best. Have his exclusive, ideally a little bit higher. Mine was unfortunately a bit low. For Alwyn, there isn't really anything special to say. I didn't really intentionally go for any HP subs or so, so you can just go full healing on her. She isn't really taking some hits or something on her spot. Ymrit also just the same as Magda, standing behind the walls, so go full DPS. Don't need to bother about HP or something, and once again we go in Frigid Flame. Boreas, as I said, we wanna have HP. As you can see, he's, I don't know, yeah, 31k HP. You wanna have HP subs ideally everywhere, as you can see. This is just making, it's probably going to be overkill on my side, but it's making it a bit easier and more consistent to just run that on him. Artemis is just average healer gear. Ideally, you want to have some HP subs once again, just to keep him alive as he's standing on the corner. He will take hits from those scourges coming around. That way you can just keep him alive a little bit longer. The last two are the Lords. They are both in the same build. Morale, tank gear. That's it. There isn't anything too special about it. You just want them to potentially withstand a few hits of the scourges if you drop them a little bit early or for whatever reason. Apart from that, there is no use case for them. For Nastya, I was running the title ring simply due to the fact because it can slow and just stop the scourges if I'm using her on the right side. Just slow them down a little bit, and the healing is going to be even further away from the wall. But apart from that, there isn't anything too special about them. Yeah, I hope those, especially those two tricks with manipulating the healings are going to help. And yeah, if there are any other requests for any guides or something or takeovers, drop a message. And yeah, good luck with 124.